Okay, part two, putting everything back together, putting my jet pump back in a 300 or a 310, I guess, same unit. I put the jet pump in. Before I put the jet pump in, of course, I greased up the spline. Let's see if I can get that open. I use this grease over here. It's really sticky, it's waterproof, it's like glue almost. So I cleaned the spline, the drive shaft, and then I cleaned out inside the female end on the pump and greased up the spline and the female end of the impeller spline. Put lots of grease in there, and so I got the jet pump in here sitting there, and I had the 4 bolts there already Loctited. There's one, then there's the second. Same over here, 3 and 4. I already had the Loctite on them, Loctite medium, and it's red, but it's medium. And I had the bolts ready, and I set the jet pump in here, and before I put it in, I put on some dishwashing, a little soap around the outside of the rubber seal. And I don't think I needed it. It seemed to glide in there, but maybe if you don't use it. Anyways, that's Corey's trick. Thanks, Corey. I think it was from Corey. So what I did is, when I set the jet pump up here, I didn't just stick it right in onto the spline, onto the drive shaft. I actually stuck my finger around and felt for the rubber boot at the front of the impeller. And I felt the drive shaft that I was sliding this unit into at the same time, so I knew that the drive shaft was coming into the rubber boot that was greased up that's on the end of the impeller. So once I was confident that the drive shaft was coming into the rubber boot on the end of the impeller, okay, then I started sliding this unit in, but it just didn't slide in. I had to go up a bit, I went down a bit, I went to the side, turned it, and then finally it started to slide in. I guess the spline lined up on the drive shaft and the impeller lined up. She went in all the way, and then I started doing up my bolts, my 4 bolts that I just talked about, and 27 foot-pounds I torqued them to, and they lined up perfectly with my previous felt pen marks. So I torqued those to, I'm sure it was 27 foot-pounds. And I torqued those up, and then I went underneath it and put the 2 Allen screws with Loctite medium again, right there. And I put those 2 Allen screws that screw into the bottom of the pump. And I put Loctite on, and I just did them up with an Allen wrench, good and snug. Here's where they come up through. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Yeah. One comes up through there into the jet pump. Then the other one comes up into the jet pump. So I did them up good and snug. And then I put on my hoses. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I orientated the clamps, as you can see, so I could do the bloody things up. Before they were upside down. And I used a open end. If I can find it, 6mm. I found this worked really well. I used an open end, I think it was 6mm, and it worked quite well. I could get in there. So then I did that, got the hoses done up, checked everything, and then I put on this quick connect fitting on the bottom of the nozzle, and then I put on the forget everything now, what everything does. That's the trim there. So I put in this bolt here, and I put Loctite medium on it again. Then I put in the steering bolt, put Loctite medium on it again. And of course, my blue markings line up on the top, so I should be dead center. Okay, so now I'm going to put on the reverse bucket with Loctite medium again. 1 bolt goes here. 1 bolt goes here, and then this quick connect goes on, and then my boarding step will go on, and I think that's it. Then I'll get underneath it and have a look in the intake grate, see if I can see any grease oozing out just out of curiosity, and maybe fire it up tomorrow just for 5-10 seconds, get underneath and just see. I can see the impeller spinning, or I don't know if I can see it from here. So yeah, okay, so yeah, it's not too big of a job, but I hope that helps.